So we're back to the joys of winter and so forth. What I've been doing is very much encouraging you towards developing a very strong posture and being able to put a lot of force behind it. And in doing so, the danger is that you strike and you set. In fact, the setting is only a brief moment. You strike, but then you need to move instantly into something else. So another way of practice, once you've actually developed the ability to use the body efficiently, to raise the stick efficiently, and to keep yourself covered, you're quite a long way there, but now you can go beyond that and start thinking of other strikes, more technical, shall we say. So if we have arrived in this position, the strike I have been suggesting is this, where you take it to the shoulder and you bring it down, and it can come down at an angle. So an advance on this is that you raise your hand to your forehead, thus, and you can see my body's moving, and then you step like that and you strike down at an angle. Say you'd be looking at the collarbone, temple, the jaw. Once again, you're aiming for something. But the basic movement is to raise this to the head while keeping this out in front, to step in and offline, so even like that. You're using your feet to make it so that the end of the jo strikes. I mean, I'm using a heavy jo, and one reason for doing that is that obviously it's going to increase your strength. I mean, this is an 1.25 inch diameter as opposed to the standard jo, which is 7/8 of an inch. So it's quite considerably more weight there, which makes it a bit slower, but it's a bit better in terms of strength training. So from here, as I say, you basically put your wrist to your head, to your forehead, and then you step offline and strike. So that's using my feet in one way, or I can step offline and step in and strike even further. So it's all a matter of what the range is, how you do the footwork. I mean, I could step out here and strike. That would be perhaps a little bit hard to immediately see the point of that, but you know, the situation could arise. But the point is, at the end of the strike, you have that, and then you have that. So you only freeze, in a sense, for a moment, just long enough to gain the impact, and then you're straight into something else. So you need to become quite mobile. Now, repeated strikes of the same kind we call renzoku in Aikido. So you could make an exercise of this where 1, 2, 3. So what you're doing is I'll step across myself in this instance. So 1, step to the side, 2, 3, and that's going to help flow. So I'll do the same thing every time, try to anyway. 1, 2, 3, then back, 1, 2, 3, So you've built the power in your body, and now you need to build a bit of flexibility and movement. So you can speed it up. And you'll notice that where the weight is, so the weight onto the front foot, 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 onto the front foot. You're always transferring the weight from the back to the front, and by practice you're calculating the range, because you don't want it to be hitting there, because you've not got, I mean, this is a heavy bit of wood, it probably would, but ideally you want to be using the bit with the greatest amplitude and velocity to strike whatever you're striking. So the point is also, there's this feeling of, in fact that's not a bad way of starting, just have this feeling of letting it fall and helping it round. Of course we do it both sides, so I let it fall, and in order to do that I can't do it with a grip like that, not going to work, so I have to let that hand open. Now I've got the other hand in place to support it, so when I let that happen, there's no fear of it falling out of my hand or anything, because I've got it supported. But I do have to relax this hand on it. I can't do it this way, not sensibly, too slow, like that, it's pretty rapid. So it's going round behind my head almost, but I'm not taking it like this, offline, and then doing something like that. I'm keeping it online, because if somebody was, if they took the opportunity to come in, but equally I now have the opportunity to lunge if necessary. So I'm to some extent defended against an incoming blow, but I also have the capacity to change that to that, or even to that. I've not just opened myself up and allowed them to get to me. So, to some extent we're letting it fall, but as I'm letting it fall, I'm moving, and it's coming round rapidly. If I go the other way, it's a little bit more awkward to go that way from this particular hold, but it can be done while maintaining a certain degree of keeping this online. That's the point. So in the end, and you can practice these quite loosely, you want to be looking at a situation where you're able to go from, say, a position like that, to that, to that, to that, to that, to something like that where you might be fending off an incoming attack, to that. So you want to use all these, you want to be relaxing to do this, but mindful of the need to put the power in at the right place and then to relax. So I don't know if I've shown this one before, probably not. But another option is you strike and then you slide and you slide and you slide. Now this is possible with a Joe or a smooth stick, but not so possible with a heavy stick. You can see how I'm using my feet both for power and range. So if this isn't very organised, I hope there are bits in there which might be of interest.